And my chairman, Honorable Kareke Mbiuki, who was not able to join us. And so I tried to fit in his shoes as much as it is humanly possible. I'm talking about mining and water when it comes to the delivery of the Big Four agenda. And I will start by just making a general statement on mining, that this country is endowed with a lot of minerals, but I think a lot of minerals have not been discovered, or they have not been established of their existence. And there is, those of you may have heard, there is what we are calling the National Geophysical Survey that was mooted by the Ministry, or by the Department of Mining, but it has been shifting from Ministry of Mining to, I think, to the Interior. And this is something that maybe we might need guidance on, because it is important that we establish where the minerals are. You might find that people think that there are no minerals in central Kenya, but we can discover that there are rare minerals there. We know that there is a lot of there are many minerals in Taita Taveta, in Ukambani, but also there are other areas where maybe with proper survey we would get minerals there. Minerals also mining is an enabler, or is part of it can enable manufacturing. For example, we know that DEFCI has opened a factory to do iron smelting. So iron ore is found in Taita Taveta, in Ukambani, and for that reason, I think we need to invest more in mining. When it comes to the construction, the housing bit of it, we have the ballast that is used for construction and the building stones. I was talking to a certain consultant, financial consultant, who surprised me when he told me that he was consulting for certain Chinese people. And surprisingly, they were asking what is the amount of tax which is paid on aggregates, those stones that are crushed, because these Chinese are imported from Dubai aggregates. I will look at that like the way Judy Jomo was saying, that the Chinese are bringing everything, including ballast, which we have a lot of stones in Kenya. So I think we have a problem there. So I will go to the mining, and I will say that I think in 11th Parliament, the Mining Act, Cap 306, was changed. And now we have a new Mining Act that is called the Mining Act 2016. And that Mining 2016 has collapsed the Mining Act, Cap 306, the Trading in Unwrought Precious Metals, Cap 309, and the Diamond Industry Protection Act, Cap 310. And I will just highlight a few things about the Mining Act 2016, which it has established the National Mining Corporation, Section 22, which did not exist previously. And the Act also provides for mineral rights granted on both private and community land, which was not there in the Cap 306. It also makes provision for artisanal miners, which is the small-scale miners. It makes provision for devolved structures of governance in mining as envisaged under the Constitution of Kenya 2010. It provides that mineral agreements may be entered into by a prospecting license holder and the Cabinet Secretary. It also brings in the local content as one of the elements that was not captured in the the Cap 306. Now, the recommendation from our department is that there is a need to make mining a shared function between the national government and the county government. And there is also a need to develop an effective compensation legal framework to ensure that host communities are adequately protected from exploitation by unscrupulous mining companies. There is need to reconsider the 10% share of royalties to local communities with a view of increasing the percentage of resources available for socio-economic development. I think those are the major recommendations that we would like to make. When it comes to water, I think water is like land. So when it comes to the Big Four agenda, first when you talk about universal health care, you know that many diseases are waterborne diseases. So most of the treatment that is going on in our health facilities, most of it is waterborne disease. So when we are able to provide clean water, then we cut the cost of healthcare by more than half. We also need water for manufacturing. Everyone knows that. One of the presenters indicated that 64% of the water that is water resources that we have goes to agriculture, and about 14% goes to industrial use. So I think water is also a big enabler when it comes to those agenda. Also, when you go to housing, there's no way you can build houses without water. So I think water is cross-cutting really, more or less like land. And I will just say a few things on water. According to the United Nations Environmental Program, roughly 1/3 of the world's population lives in countries where there is a moderate to high water stress. And Kenya is among those countries that have a lot of problems with water, where if the per capita water is less than 1,000 cubic meters, then that country has problem of water. So anyway, because of time, I can see my chair is pushing me. I'll just go to, the parliament really has tried to make many legislation related to water, and some of which is the Environmental Management and Coordination Act of 1999, the Water Act 2016, the Environmental Management and Coordination Wastewater Regulation of 2006. And I want to probably make just 2 recommendations on what to do with the water. And Madam Chair, if you can allow me, it was a big document and I'm trying to compress it. So, so some of the recommendations that have been made are that the National Policy on Water Resources Management and Development, Sessional Paper 1 of 1999, is currently under the review with the executive to align it to Constitution and Water Act 2016. The speedy conclusion of the stakeholder consultation and tabling in the National Assembly will help improve implementation of Water Act 2016. And the transboundary water policy is an important policy that is pending with the executive, and that